After I graduated, I moved back to Los Angeles, and I hadn't worked in a firm for very long, maybe like 18 months, and it was at least two firms. I worked for like a medium-sized architectural firm that did civic work, but very fine work. And that was interesting, but I just knew that the size of the office was just really big, and I wanted to work in a smaller firm. And so I did do that, but it wasn't a great fit. And one of my friends who had finished graduate school, he went to a business school, and he got hired right away at Paramount after he finished his degree. And I mentioned this to him, and he says, well, how about let me see, like what you could do here at Paramount. And he arranged a lunch, and I met a production designer who was designing the Arsenio Hall show. And so I met with him, and he introduced me to another production designer right after that lunch, and I worked for him for 13 years.
And who was that?
Bruce Ryan.
So what was your first project with Bruce?
It was with Dennis Miller, and it was the Young Comedians. And it was at a beautiful old theater in Santa Monica, and Bruce's design was to reference the decorative arts in that theater, and so he sent me to the Paramount staff shop, and I selected a whole bunch of stuff, and we did all our drawings, and when it was time to pick up all the staff work, I went there, and they didn't have the order, and so maybe, I don't know if it was my poor communication or they just lost the order. I had to scramble, and I went directly to Warner Brothers staff shop, and they made, they just said, if you can find the mold, we'll make them this afternoon. And so I just went around that whole amazing, they had a loft space that was just filled with molds, and I just started pulling out those plaster molds, and we kind of recreated what Bruce originally had in mind. Not exactly the same, but I do remember Dennis Miller coming out once he was on camera. Of course, he didn't do it when he's off camera. And two of the pieces I selected, they were probably from, like, you're supposed to look like a masthead from a front, the front of a big wooden ship. And they were women, probably mermaids, but somehow their outfit was they looked like armor, and especially around the breast. And Dennis Miller went right up to him and put his hands on them and, made some kind of comment. And I just remember being so mortified, but, it was a pretty funny joke for the night, so now I don't feel so bad.